had to do this because I found someone on YouTube. He calls himself Ryu X. For the channel that he posted this video on was Ryu MS. Now he had done terrible content on this video, so I've decided to take up the mantle to pick up his slack, as he clearly did a terrible job. We start off at the Nine Tails attack. Obito grabbing on to the little boy. As then Minato does the substitution jutsu. As he substitutes Naruto for for a for a stack of paper bombs. As then he throws his kunai at Obito. Obito just sucks it up into his eye. As then Minato grabs onto Obito's head, then slams it into the ground. As then Obito was nauseated. Minato would then grab on to his kunai, throwing it up as then Obito, with his mind being blank at the moment, he was incredibly stupid. He had been knocked up so terribly, he couldn't remember of anything. He couldn't imagine anything. His body, it was as if he was in two dimensions, which he really was, but he didn't know yet. Minato would then say, "I've done it." As Obito finally regained his composure to see a Rasengan flying towards his face, he then calmly threw it. As he then calmly threw it completely. As he thought, they really thought that was gonna work on me? As he was infuriated, his plan did not work. How couldn't it have worked? He did his job. Why didn't his plan work? As then he thought about something. As he then he yelled out, "Full scale Kamui!" As he then teleported Minato to his dimension. As he then went around comboing everything that Minato had marked that was within the Leaf Village. Minato could not go anywhere, and he was stuck within this weird reality, this weird area. Minato, and then he said, "I've done it perfectly." As then he extracted the Nine Tails from Kushina. As then Minato finally had thought of something, a way that he could get out. He remembered once he threw that kunai, once he slammed Obito's head onto the ground, he flying Raijin marked it. So he was gonna be able to teleport back to. So he was gonna be able to teleport. What? So he was gonna be able to teleport back to towards where he was at the beginning. As then Obito, as then Minato finally got back, as he saw the Nine Tails rampaging, he thought the only way to stop this is to give up my life. As then a yellow-haired man would appear. This was in way past older version of Naruto. He hoped to save his father to have a better life, so he could live throughout his days without having to worry about the shinobi. As he then performed the Reaper Death Seal, sealing the Nine Tails, the full Nine Tails within Naruto, within a baby Naruto. As he then, Naruto would then, before doing so, seal all of the Biju within within the baby Naruto as well. The baby Naruto glowed with a shining bright light. As then, unknowingly, since all of them were sealed in Naruto at the same time, they accidentally mixed to create the Jubi. Then then the Nine Tails attacks goes pretty much the same. A 1-year-old Naruto, he acts wild. He's too crazy for anyone. Eventually, they just stop caring for Naruto. Eventually, they just stop listening to Naruto. They stop caring about anything that Naruto did. As a matter of fact, they started to hold an anger towards Naruto to the point where they just neglected his very existence. Naruto would be a wild child, with the Jubi always constantly telling him things like to kill himself or to kill everyone around him or to rampage throughout the city with unimaginable power. The Jubi and Naruto did not. Well, since the Jubi tormented Naruto since his birth, and the Jubi is Shikaku personality wise, not power wise, because that would just be stupid to say that. He was basically Shikaku personality wise times 1,000,000. He was more dangerous, hostile, and evil. Eventually, it got to the point where Naruto's family and he had other family too who were born 1 year after him. They hated him. Eventually, Naruto just started to get beat up by his family. Once the villagers within the village realized that Naruto was being neglected by his parents, they realized that they could beat on him because his parents did not care. After the age of 4, Naruto was finally snapped after he was getting stabbed on a cross, similar to the way that Jesus was crucified. Blood leaked out of his mouth as he said words that shocked everyone. "You'll die," he said, as he was usually quiet. He was trying to fight off the Jubi mentally, but the Jubi had gotten to him sometimes. As a matter of fact, it was almost all the time. But this time, he actually fully accepted the Jubi. His the thoughts that the Jubi passed on to Naruto, were heard. as he could sense their presences. He can even sense what they were thinking. All of them. Most of them were thinking of the ways that he could kill them, as they were fearful that the demon would attack back. And some were thinking, how dare he? How dare he speak out once we're hurting him? Hurt him more, they thought. As Naruto completely stopped moving after those words. What? You don't have any more words of encouragement? He laughed out loud. You all. The villagers had laughed out. They had finally gotten rid of the demon. They finished the demon off. Finished what the fourth did. Since Naruto's body was unable to take just the full 9 tails, how Naruto's body would do is he doesn't, by the way, his body has to adjust to it, so he does not die, but it takes him a full year for his body to adjust to all the power that it consumes. It changed his strength and his physical power as well. Anyway, back to present time. He finally stopped moving. As then he moved violently, ripping himself off of the cross, as he then teared through the almost army of villagers that were in his path. The villagers that were thinking to hurt him even more were now terrified. They were terrified of what he would do to them. You demon, stay back, he yelled out. One of the villagers yelled out, crawling on the ground, trying to get away from an infuriated Naruto. Naruto looked at him with one emotion within his eye. For the first time, the Jubi and Naruto had agreed on something. Destruction. Then he flashed around, killing all of them. He was so fast that he could be compared to a Madara Uchiha within the war. Now this was against trained ninja. Most of them were jonin, and they can hardly see him even move at all. Now these are regular people. They're below the level of even beginning. So when you're taking all that into account, Naruto just seemed to disappear in them, as all of them fell to the ground dead. He left the one alive. As words leaked or poured from his mouth. Tell the others. Tell the others of this event. The man being happy that he was spared, but he wanted to get away. He got up and ran in terror. Naruto laughed out loud. Oh, it feels so good to see all of that hope turn into despair. As the man looked down, as he felt like an immense pain just inside of his body. He felt so much pain. The man's smile turned into... No, the man's terrified expression with a little bit of hope, turns into a face that will only show despair. This is perfect, he said, as then as then he laughed out. I am the greatest of them all. All of them were dead. After the fourth Hokage heard of the fact that Naruto had murdered a lot of his civilians, he came up to Naruto and started to beat down upon Naruto violently. Now, this Naruto he had enough speed to be the same speed as in Madara, or revived Madara without any amps of any of the sort. But strength not, defense not. As Minato yanked off one of Naruto's limbs, Naruto yelled out in pain, "This is what you get, demon! This is what you deserve! This is for all of the people!" And then he prepared a Shindori. A Shindori prepared. He then slung it into Naruto's side, causing Naruto a lot of pain. Minato laughed out, saying, "Don't die on me yet. You're gonna feel more pain." As Minato kept on injecting Naruto with chakra pills for about 2 months. These chakra pills were used to help in the healing process as he tortured Naruto endlessly. Naruto wondered when all of the pain was going to end. Eventually, he tried to get his dad to inject more of the deadly toxins he was constantly injecting into his body that was rapidly destroying his cells, which caused a lot of pain. This pain was immense. It was like nothing he had ever felt before. But the Jubi, with chakra pills and everything else to keep on healing him, he was almost as if he was in a limbo state, a state between life and death forever. Until eventually, on the 6th month, Minato came in with another poison that was very toxic. This time, this one once injected, even a single drop, even the size of a regular raindrop, would be capable of killing an entire village. This poison was so potent that Naruto was gonna die for sure. He poisoned Naruto. Unknowingly, Naruto's body had been going through changes. Until his body at the point where he needed these toxins to actually live. So he was helping Naruto's health to feed him these toxins. Eventually his body started to create the toxins on its own. It ran through his bloodstream. It was as if this toxins was his air, was like air to him. He essentially needed it. Then, after Naruto, after all of these experiments and such, Naruto got up as he ripped from the imprisonment that had this structure that imprisoned him. He sat on the table, waiting for Minato to come in. As 5 minutes later, Minato came in with a new poison he was ready to inject inside of Naruto to make him feel the ultimate pain. As he then saw Naruto standing up, he then flying Raijin towards Naruto and injected the poison as quickly as he could, as he did not want Naruto to beat him up. As he didn't want Naruto to draw upon the power of the tailed beast or anything. He didn't want him to stop his plans. And with this lethal drug, he fell down to the ground. His body felt so heavy he couldn't help it. His body felt terrible. Um, This is not the end of this video, but I'm feeling kind of sleepy. Thank you for this long time viewer. It seems as if you genuinely actually like my content. Thank you for that. Anyway, Naruto, once injected with this powerful toxin, he fell to the ground because this was a large quantity of it. His body was in a limbo state again for the next 3 months. This poison was as potent as all of the poison that he had taken so far combined. Eventually, Naruto finally woke up from his limbo stage. The poison from his body had become like acid. Minato had came in with a kunai ready to stab Naruto. He was trying to find new ways to torture Naruto for the day. He he found the stick and he shoved it into Naruto. Naruto yelled out in pain. But once Minato went to take out the stick, it was a metal stick, by the way. It was burnt. The stick was completely melted. He then yelled out, "Demon!" as he started to stab him even more and more, trying to give him more pain. He wanted to give him so much pain that he would die. Ooh, I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. I'm about to watch Lucifer. I'm on season 3, episode 15. Ooh, long episode. Anyway, Naruto being stuck after 2 more days of excruciating pain, of Minato trying out different metals to see which one would not melt inside of Naruto's body. As he found copper, he shoved it into Naruto. In it, once he pulled it out, it was actually still there. He started to create, he started to order copper weaponry, copper everything. Until eventually Naruto had enough of it. The Jubi shot chakra into him everywhere as he then yanked himself from the imprisonment that he was held by. Um, Guys, make sure that y'all subscribe to my brother's channel, Dante the God slash Fortnite clips. Um, Also go ahead and check out What If Naruto um was like Madara Uchiha. We have a playlist for that. Oh, and check out What If Naruto had the Ultimate Sharingan remaster. We trying new things right now. We trying out new stuff. Also, if y'all can give me an editor, if you can get me in contact with an editor, put it inside. If you right now, if you can get me in contact with an editor, put it inside of the chat, the editor's number or however I can get to the editor. I need an editor for my videos. You know, it's hard for me to like just literally just make lives. I don't even know how to edit. I need to edit trainer or something. Anyway, if you can please, you in the chat right now. You who is watching my video right now. I see you. I see you. If you can get me a editor, that would be greatly appreciated, because then you will be able to. It's basically like joining my group. I'll be able. Ooh, I'll be giving you gifts and awards for such. Anyway, make sure that you subscribe, give it a like on my channel. Check out my brother's channel, Dante the Guy, because he's starting up. He's a Fortnite. He makes Fortnite videos. You may know him from my channel as well. Thanks for the like. Um. Also, subscribe to the one who I got the idea from, even if he neglected his duties as a proper wood if maker. Like, you really just did it so terribly that I, the lazy dude, had to decide to make a video for you. That's trippy. That's trippy to me. Anyway, his name is MS Ryu. Hold up. I'm about to send you his name. There we go. There we go. Bye. Bye, guys. Make sure that y'all subscribe to this terrible wood of maker.